welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you see me for the first time. My name is Chichi. I am a female fashion designer based in Nigeria. So in today's video, we are learning how to make this detachable bow or sleeve, anyone you would call it. Now the major measurement you're going to be needing for this is across the shoulder measurement. Okay, for material, I'm using this Ankara print. I'm using peplum stay. I also have this clip. You can get this from a beauty store. I have buttons. Make sure your buttons match with the dress you are attaching your bow to. Very important. I have 6 buttons here. So now when I took my cross shoulder measurement, I added 10 more inches to that for ease. So my fabric is now folded into 2, mark half of the measurement plus 1 inch for seam allowance. I'm cutting 2 pieces, one for the fabric and one for the lining. And the width I'm going to be using is 15 inches. I'll sew in half of an inch on both ends. I'll be left with 14. So now you fold the folded edge again into 2. From the folded edge, you fold again into 2. From the top part, mark 2.5 inches. Mark the midpoint of your fabric and connect the midpoint to the 2.5 inches. After that, proceed to cut this out. So after cutting, remember, like I said earlier, we cut 2 pieces of this. One will be used for the lining and the other will be used for the fabric. So whichever one you want to use for the lining, you go ahead and fuse in your peplum stay. Okay, so fusing your peplum stay into it, and this is what we have. Cut straps that we'll use to create loops to pass our buttons. The width I have here is 2 inches and the length of about 25. Sew close and turn it out. So I have another piece which measures 7 inches by 6 inches. And make sure this particular piece corresponds with the gown or the top that you're attaching this detachable bow to. Okay, fold it into 2 and just sew this close. So now for the 2 piece of my bow, I want to have pleats at the tips of my bow that would be attached to the button at the center back. So first thing I'm going to do is to mark off half of an inch from the both ends and pleat what I have left. So please do not forget to mark off your half of an inch from the both edges, okay? And pleat what you have left. You repeat this on the other side of the main fabric and also repeat this on the both sides of the lining, and make sure the width corresponds. So I already repeated this on the both sides of my lining and the other side of my main fabric. Take your strap and measure 3.5 inches. Now this should be your preference, so make sure you do this in a way that when you fold this to create a loop, it can be able to pass through your button. Okay, so now to create our loops to pass through our button, again take note of your half of an inch on the both edges. I twisted my loop. I placed the first one immediately after the half of an inch on one part. Place the second one immediately after the half of an inch on the other part, and I place the third one on the midpoint. So like I said, the first loop was placed after the half of an inch of one edge, the second loop placed after half of an inch of the other edge, while the third loop is placed at the midpoint of the both loops. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side of the main piece. When you're done, you go ahead to place your lining on top of your main piece. Sew all around, leave about 3-4 inches open to turn this out. Make sure you notch and cut off all your excess seam allowance. Turn this out and give it a good press. So now I gave mine a good press. Fold your piece into two, mark the midpoint. As you can see, I already marked mine already. Use a needle and thread and run a loose stitch on your midpoint. Make sure to tack this down very well to hold it in place. Just take your time and get this done. Now we'll take our strap with the seam part ironed to the midpoint. Turn it over. Okay, make sure that the seam part of the strap is facing outside. Turn it over and stitch that close with the 1/2 inch allowance we have. So I stitched it close. I turn my seam inside, making sure that this seam line is showing on the lining part of your bow. Do not forget. Press this close. Take your beauty pin, attach your uhu gum or your candle gum, whichever one you have available to it. I would advise you go over something better or something stronger. This clip was not really given, or even if you would use this clip, make sure you use about 3 or 4 to keep it really balanced. Okay, so just place your uhu gum and attach this to the midpoint of this strap. You give this some time to sit properly. I used a clip to put mine in place and allow it dry. Now take the both edges of your bow and place them on your center back, about 1/4 inch away from your zip allowance, so it does not affect you when you're trying to zip up and down of your dress. On through your loops, mark where you would be attaching your buttons. It's to just make the work so much easier. Go ahead, take your buttons, use your needle and thread, and tack this down. After that, we are done, and this is my final result. I am in love. Honestly, I am in love. This is so beautiful. If you try it out, let me know in the comment section below. Give this a thumbs up and share, like, subscribe if you like this video, and I'll keep bringing bangers your way. Thank you for watching. Bye.